darkness I stumble again. These halls are just echoes, just fragments, just pain. Sachiko smiles, oh that twisted grace. Ayumi's here too, with her cautious embrace. It's crazy to think I could find peace here, but somehow they linger ghostly and near. Satsuki laughs, a sound breaking my night, and I'm wondering now if my heart's still alright. A heart beats a question, beating faster and slow. Who do I love in the shadowy glow? Is it Sachiko's curse that's entranced my soul, or Ayumi's courage making me whole? Maybe Satsuki's smile lights up the dark, or maybe it's just my fear that's left a mark. I can't decide who holds the key. Haunted hearts and half-truths are binding me. I'm staring in mirrors that distort my face, each one reflecting a lover's embrace. Ayumi's whispers, they circle like ghosts, while Satsuki's laughs, the one I miss most. But Sachiko's here with that cold, empty stare. Why does her presence hang heavy in air? And then there's myself, yeah, alone in the dark. Maybe I'm the answer, that flicker, that spark. Is love just a riddle, a trick in disguise? Or am I just lost in this sea of goodbyes? Could it be Ayumi, brave but unsure? The pull of her kindness feels deep and pure. Or maybe Satsuki, who laughs like the dawn, but each of their faces just lingers, then gone. What if love's just a haunted dream? Haunted hearts and half-truths breaking the scene. It's twisted, tangled, this nightmare we're in, fading and flickering like light on my skin. Maybe I'm searching for fragments of peace, but every answer just slips out of reach. I thought love was simple, black and white clear, but now it's all shadows mixed with my fear. Sachiko's laughter sharp like a knife. Ayumi's sorrow, could I give her my life? Maybe my heart's only haunted by me, a mirror that fractures, breaking silently. Ghosts of my choices, they're laughing aloud. Do I want freedom or someone around? Could it be Satsuki, wild and free? Or am I just better off lost and lonely? Ayumi's kindness cuts through the haze, but Sachiko's curse has a beauty in ways. If there's an answer, it won't come through. Haunted hearts and half-truths, yeah, they're all I knew. Hearing the echoes where time loops and twists, I reach for their shadows, but only find mist. Maybe it's simpler to walk on my own, in the corridors dark, in the quiet alone. Maybe this choice is a game I won't win, lost in the labyrinth deep within. Sachiko's grip holds tight like fate. Ayumi waits with patience great. Satsuki's laughter's a light in the gloom, but alone I might leave this haunted room. Maybe love's a riddle you lose in the end. Haunted hearts and half-truths are all that mend. Every step's a question, an echo, a test. In this school of lost souls I can finally rest. No clear answer, no one I could choose. Just haunted hearts and half-truths, nothing left to lose.
Hello, hello, hello. It's your favorite neighborhood birdie here once again. Fucking finally. And, you might have noticed a little change in how I sound today. Yeah, the last couple of days, I have been playing around with, my new microphone, care of the anonymous gifter from, God, it must have been several months ago now. I finally got around to playing around with it, and I think I finally found a setup that works for me, and a setup that I somewhat like. So, definitely give me some feedback on how I sound throughout the game. Speaking of the game, hopefully shit decides to work this time. So we didn't get too far into the last chapter. So, hopefully, all of the mysteries, or most of the mysteries, will remain. Now, one thing I have done, just between streams, is if I go to the new chapter here, if I go to options here, you'll see here now that I have got all of the endings for Shame Upon the Battlefield, Stranger in the Spotlight, and Trans Bomb Shelter Ultra Quiz. A, that's a tongue twister, and B, we already had all of the endings for that one. We got those ones on stream. But the wrong ends for Shame Upon the Battlefield and Stranger in the Spotlight, we didn't have all of those on stream, so what I've done is I've recorded them off stream, and over the last day or so, I've just got them and uploaded them to the YouTube page. So if you're interested in seeing some of the wrong ends, I would definitely recommend it, especially Shame Upon the Battlefield. That one. Let's just, I won't spoil it, but let's just say that you will never, ever, ever look at Moshige the same way ever again. And that's saying something, given what we know about him on the in the base game anyway. So, as I say, we didn't get very far into with Love from the Heart of the School last time. In fact, we just got to the first really questionable decision. And it wasn't that far into the chapter, to be honest with you. So, what I've decided to do here, just so that I can upload one complete VOD rather than bits of 2 or even 3 VODs, is I am going to start the chapter again. And yeah, we'll just go through this, and then everything after the first choice is new. And also, speaking of the first choice, it's a weird one, but I'll explain more about that one when we get to it. So, let's get Satoshi his harem. Also, Mossy, thank you for redeeming first earlier, and also, yeah, how are you doing today? Satoshi and the others nervously examine their surroundings. With him were Naomi, Ayumi, Yuka, Miss Yui, Satsuki, and Toko for a total of 7 people. Though they'd just been in the Heavenly Host Elementary Auditorium a moment ago, they suddenly all found themselves standing in classroom 1A. And none among them could hide their anxiety.
なんで私たちここに集められてるの？大丈夫よ、心配しないで。私たちがついてるわ。ここは天神小学校。集められたメンバーには何か意味があるはず。
Oh, there is, my dear.
何かをするために集められた。そんな気がするんだ。
何か思い出しそうな気がするんだけど。私たち何か約束をしたような。何なの？知らない人ばっかり。
Yuka, who had only just noticed that Satoshi was here with her, came bounding over. And I remind you, she is meant to be 14. She sure as fuck don't look or act like it.
Yuka!
Satoshi gave her a big hug.
一緒にいられれば、俺がユカを守ってやれる。離れ離れはもうごめんだ。
よかった。お兄ちゃんと一緒だ。
そうだな。
Then another girl interjected herself into the scene, slightly startling the siblings.
あ、ゆかちとゆかちのお兄さんですか？
あれ、ユカと同じ制服？
私は水原さつき、ゆかちの友達です。はじめまして、ゆかちのお兄さんですよね。水原さつき、C カップです。
And again, why would you say, hi, please, I'm still dumbfounded by this. Hi, pleased to meet you. I'm a C cup. What the fuck? It's like walking up to a guy and being like, hi, you don't know me, but I'm a real slut. Please touch my tits. And that kind of an action doesn't help. As if to punctuate that statement, she put one hand on her lower back and another on the back of her head, thrusting her chest forward. Yeah, this is a weird. This is, from what little I do know of this chapter, this is a fucking weird one.
中学生？ユカと同い年とは思えないほど、大人っぽいな。
Not wrong.
ああ、よろしく。
ずっと会ってみたかったんですよね。ゆかちの大好きなお兄ちゃんに。さつきちゃんやめてよ。なんで？ゆかちいつも言ってるじゃん。お兄ちゃんと結婚できないかなとか。
え？
なんでもないのお兄ちゃん。
But by this time, Satsuki's eyes had already begun wandering, and she was now focused on the teacher's podium at the front of the room.
あ、幸子さんだ。
That certainly changed the mood. Everyone else in the room immediately stopped what they were doing and turned to face the podium as well. Hovering above it, glowing with a faint white light, was Sachiko. The light gradually faded away, revealing the unmistakable red dress as Sachiko gracefully touched down. A perfect landing, as it were. Oh yes, I forgot to mention I added a new bot to the channel. This is another trial to see how well that works. I really need to add a button to send the commands automatically, but I haven't done that yet. And in fact, if I do it on this one, I'm actually gonna break something. So maybe, maybe not a good idea.
皆さんこんにちは。幸子のヒステリックバースデーにようこそ。今度は何をやらせる気よ。中島さん、ここは我慢よ。文化祭を盛り上げたら帰れるから、しばらくおとなしくしてましょう。この教室に集まってもらったのは他でもありません。楽しい催し物に参加してもらうためです。
And with this, she beckoned to Satsuki,
さつきちゃ
who's probably still thrusting her chest, let's be honest.
ん、はーい。
Satsuki flew forward, and in the blink of an eye, she was now standing right next to Sachiko.
さつきちゃん、幸子ちゃんと知り合いなの？どういうこと？さて、紹介するね。今回の催し物の司会、実況をお願いしている水原さつきちゃんです。如月学園中等部2年3組、水原さつきです。よろしくお願いします。
As the crowd stood dumbfounded, Satsuki concluded her self-introduction with an exaggerated clap and a mischievous wink. This girl's trouble, I'm calling it.
さつきちゃん、どうして？なんで幸子ちゃんのことを知ってるの？
Like, this girl is beginning to feel like more trouble than Sachiko. And that's saying something.
さつきちゃんからそんな話聞いたことないよ。さつきちゃん、その子怖いから。
That girl up in trouble!
そう？一人ぼっちでずっと廃校になった小学校にいたなんてかわいそうな子じゃん。さつきちゃんは何も知らないんだ。ここがどんなに怖いところか。幸子ちゃんが何をしてきたのか。
Yeah, she got no clue.
だったらしょうがないかも。でもさつきちゃんだったら全てを知っててもこのテンションだったりするかも。
High-strung and maybe a little bit oblivious.
さっき幸子さんに頼まれちゃって、まあ私話すの好きだしやってもいいかなって。怖くないの？廃校だよここ。廃校を舞台にしたイベントなんて面白そうじゃないですか。文化祭なんですよね。そうだよ、今日は楽しい文化祭だからみんな楽しんでね。
何をする気なんだ？
さて、皆様にやっていただくのは天神小学校ハーレムスクールデイズラブラブ大作戦です。
Yes, the great love-love maneuver. For a moment, a deafening silence fell upon the room.
ハーレムって確か行動で幸子さんが言ってたやつ。そうです、ハーレムです。ハーレム。
Sachiko pumped her fist excitedly.
見ての通り可愛い女の子がたくさんいる中に持田聡くんがたった一人。これをハーレムと言わずして何と言おうか。
This is just fucking weird. That's what this is. And it's only gonna get weirder. Satoshi looked around the room.
確かにこの場に男は俺一人。
Oh, god damn it, Jean's back. Hi, Jean. How are you doing again? You come to break my shit again?
幸子、 ブコメが見たいの。
Love, love maneuver. Oh god. You're so Atlu. By the way, how am I sounding, Jean?
だからこの学校に来た男の子の中で一番人気のあるサトシを選んだの。
I guess that's my job. Well, you do have a sword, to be fair. Yeah, exactly. Breaking things. Including but not limited to the streamer. Sounds good. Oh, perfect. Because I've got a brand new microphone and like a professional one, and I've been having fun trying to get the levels all set up. So yeah, this is the first live test of it. So thank you.
それからサトシのことを好きな女の子たちを集めたらこうなったの。
Crispy? Is that good or bad?
私はあの人のことなんて知らない。会ったことある？
Good, I think. Oh god, that's terrifying.
初めて会ったはずなのに。
Well, as long as I don't sound like crap, that's the main thing.
どこかで会ったことあったっけ？見たことない制服なのになぜか胸が
Not crap. Not amazing, but not crap either.
天神小学校のどこかで会った。
落ち着いて。あなたは誰？見かけない制服ね。
Why does nobody know Byakuren?
私は桐崎東子、白蘭高等学校の2年生です。
Like, is it a school that just doesn't fucking exist in their timeline?
あなたたちはみんな顔見知りかもしれないけど、私は違うわ。だから行動に返して友達と一緒にいたいの。ダメ！ちゃんと参加しないと。すっごい恐ろしい目に遭わせちゃうよ。
Ta-da!
私は古い木造校舎の中を必死でさまよった。出口を探して、そして信じられないようなことが起こった。
Alright, now that I've actually got to a point where the music's shut up, let me do a couple of shoutouts here. No prizes for guessing who the first one's going to.
Nabost, Red Release, Sphere, and Mr. Complete Global Sad Semester. No! I was wait, what? Is that press F? Wait, what? You guys saw that, right? You guys saw press F. I was like, wait, that's not F controls.
Now that's what I call complete global penetration.
Press F. Press F.
And yes, he does actually say that.
I feel like we could eat ourselves out.
And Jean's eating herself out. I mean, that's a skill in of itself, isn't it? Why is the game not working? Oh, don't leave. Come, stay. Join in the harem. Goes into hiding. Yeah. Jean's gone into hiding so that she can eat herself. And he gets to watch.
そうだ。私は片思いをしていた優也に。
It wasn't supposed to be clipped like that. Oh, I know that. But that's part of the fun. Also, that guy looks scary, but there's a heart. No, you're right to be scared by him.
優也の手で。
And just as Toko was about to cry out in pain and terror, the memory vividly returning to her,
終わり。怖かったでしょ？思い出したくないよね。また同じ目に遭いたくないよね。もっと怖い目に遭いたくないよね。
So, teasing aside, Jean, what are you up to tonight?
じゃあわがままはなしね。わかった。
Yes, don't be selfish. Join in the harem. Give yourself to the group. Ugh, God, I feel terrible just saying that. Satsuki, smiling perpetually through this whole ordeal, continued with her speech as if none of this had even happened.
では参加者の紹介をしますね。
Watching a movie tonight. What movie, if I may ask?
まずは我らがハーレムキング如月学園高等部2年9組持田聡くん。
あ、どうもよろしく。
Yes, the most unwilling harem leader ever.
そしてハーレムを彩る美女たちの紹介です。まずは本命登場、中島直美さんです。如月学園高等部2年9組、さとしくんとはずっとクラスメイト。これは運命か？
I'd love to know who the hell was whistling.
ちょっとやめてよ。ただの腐れ縁ってだけよ。そして同じく同級生、如月学園高等部2年9組の委員長、篠崎あゆみさん。
The second Lord of the Rings film, The Two Towers. I keep wanting to call it the Twin Towers, but that's something very different.
よろしくお願いします。霊感が強く、おまじないが大好き。そんなエキセントリックな魅力を持つあゆみさんの奮闘ぶりに期待です。
Extended edition, oh Jesus. I think the extended edition's like 4 hours.
エキセントリック。
It makes Titanic look like a short story.
そして大人の部からは副担任の先生が登場。危ない放課後、宍戸優衣先生23歳。生徒と何かあるような言い方はやめて。先生の自宅で2人きりなんて情報も届いております。
The Fellowship one was supposed to be 4 hours, but it was 30 minutes of credits. Still fun though. Yeah, the credits of all 3 movies are long. I remember the credit sequence of the 3rd one, Return of the King. And I remember being in the cinema for it as well. And let's just say I was absolutely bursting for the bathroom. And I was thinking, oh no, I'll be able to hold it, it's fine. The movie will be ending soon. I mean, they've just destroyed the ring. There can't be anything left to talk about, right? Freaking 45 minutes later, and you're still waiting for the damn credits to start. It's like, come on! I tell you, the moment the first line of credits appeared, I bolted out of that cinema.
あれはただ私が風邪をひいてみんな誤解よ
That's why you do small sips. You know, Gene, that's rich. That's rich coming from the piss princess. No, that wasn't the term. What the fuck did I call that clip? Yeah, it's gonna bother me now.
持田君は届け物をしてくれただけで私は熱があって司君と間違えてだからはいはい次行きますよ次
Hold on, I thought I was in streamer mode. Why did I just get pinged? There. Oh, no. There we go.
最も身近な異性生まれた時からずっと一つ屋根の下妹の持田ゆかちゃん如月学園中等部2年3組お兄ちゃん大好きそしてダークホースになるか他校の強気な美少女が乱入白檀高等学校2年4組桐崎瞳子さんどうもじゃあそろそろ始めましょうかね
Do we have to?
まずは簡単にルール説明ですサトシくんへのラブラブアピールを女性陣にしていただき最終的にサトシくんに選ばれた人が優勝ということになりますちょっと何よそれアピールってそんな生徒にラブラブアピールなんかできませんはいブーイングはお断りですいいじゃないですかこんな小さな女の子が寂しがってるんですから楽しいお誕生日にしてあげましょうよ
So, Gene, if you're still here, have you seen the Lord of the Rings movies before? Or is this your first time watching them?
楽しいイベントが目白押しどんどん盛り上げていきましょう
Satsuki was waving her arms wildly, as if to jumpstart the party, but in response, she was met with nothing more than dumbfounded silence. I'd be worried if anything else happened. This didn't seem to bother her, however. She continued.
そして最後にサトシくんに選ばれた人にはとっておきの商品が贈られます
I'm still trying to work out what this special prize is. That begins with D. Or no. That begins with a C or a K sound.
商品サトシくんから最初に気がつくものをプレゼントです
Well, even though we're all thinking it, I guarantee you it's not going to be cock. I'd be worried if it was.
サトシどういうこと
Although I love how everyone's so naive they just go straight to kiss. Even the teacher.
俺何も知らないけどだいたいハーレムってなんだよ
Oh, my dear Satoshi. Whether you want to or not, you're gonna find out.
火のつくプレゼントって キスだよね。こういう時の商品ってきっとそうよね。どうしよう、ハーレムなんてやりたくないけど、でもサトシとキス。
お兄ちゃんからのプレゼント、キスだったりするのかな。お兄ちゃんからのキスってほっぺかな。もしかして唇。やだな、私何を考えてるの。
ゆかち、何真っ赤になってるの？あ、わかった。お兄ちゃんとのキスシーンを思い浮かべてたんでしょう。
違うよ。
そうなの？だってゆかち、顔がにやけてたよ。
そんなことないもん。
ハーレムか。主催者の
Let's just
幸
get
子さん
through
はラブ
this.
コメが見たいって言ってるわけだよね。気がつくものって思わせぶりに言ってるけど、持田くんが一番お気に入りの女の子を選ぶわけだから、まず間違いなく商品は持田くんからのキス。こういう場でキスが欲しいわけじゃないけど、でも他の女の子に渡したくない。絶対負けたくない。商品か。優勝者の商品で木がつくもの。キャットタワー？黄色のワイヤルもいいな。
Okay, you're even more oblivious than everyone else.
勝った人に選ばせてくれたらいいのに。ハーレムなんてやりたくないけど、ここで大人の女は私だけ。セクシーさではもしかしたら。
You just no, I'm not even gonna say that.
なんでね。どうしたんですか先生。今目が光ってましたけど。なんでもない。
Oh, just imagine it's Tsukasa.
さあ、皆さん盛り上がってきましたね。あれ、トウコさんだけ反応が芳しくない？私は別に興味ないから。ほっと出ましたね、ツンデレ発言。もうアピール開始ですか。
I love that the tendencies you're known for. What the fuck's that meant to mean?
違うわよ。サトシくんから木のつくプレゼント、何か気になりますね。とっても美味しいキャベツか、それとも愛が込められたキックかな。さあ、みんな頑張っていきましょう。キャベツ？キック？商品ってそれ？商品ってそれなの？そっち？冗談ですよ。きっと皆さんの想像しているもの。はいはい、では始めますよ。それでは記念すべき1回戦は。
It's not crisps, is it? I'm not expecting it to be as simple as a kiss. I'm just not. But I'm also not expecting it to be anything too lewd either. And Satsuki is known for holding crisps up her skirt. Or in her skirt, I should say. I don't know, it's weird.
誰がサトシくんをゲット？校内ビーチフラッグ対決です。ビーチフラッグ？どこで？ここ小学校だよね。砂場？ 会場には後ほどご案内します。参加者の皆様、まずは水着に着替えましょう。さあ、もう勝負始まってますよ。更衣室にて水着争奪戦です。さあ、更衣室までダッシュ。
Yeah, that's probably the smartest thing she's said all game. Come on, everybody, let's make a run for the border. At this rate, I'm fucking tempted to. Nobody fully understood what was going on just yet, but everybody just kind of started running. Ugh.
私が一番ね。水着って一体どこに。あ、ロッカーに水着が入れてある。いっぱいあるな。どれにしよう。もうなんでこんなことに。きつい。あー、中島さん早い。おー、いろんな水着があるのね。水着なんて着るの久しぶりよ。どうしよっかな。更衣室遠いよ。苦しい。なんで私まで。
Because. Do you need a reason? Finally, the whole gang was present in the locker room.
水着いろいろあるね。私ビキニは無理。私も無理だから。
Ayumi had her hand on a dress-type swimsuit, but Toko was apparently prepared to fight her for it, her hand also tightly grasping its stretchy fabric.
ちょっと引っ張らないで。そっちこそ。ちょっと。
Apparently it's Black Friday for swimsuits.
二人とも落ち着いて。ほら、じゃんけん。私が先に掴んだんだから。私だよ。あー、怖い。思ったより水着が小さい。本当だ。胸が水着に食い込む。私 E カップだから M サイズの水着だとちょっときついんだよね。
Yuka glanced down at her own chest. The swimsuit she'd chosen was too big for her flat body shape, barely even staying on since it had nothing to really grip onto. That's not an image I wanted in my head, I'll be honest. Oh my god, I hope it does not get worse past the point that we stopped at last time. And as Yuka fiddled with her swimsuit, Ayumi was busy taking her school uniform off right beside her. And as she did, a small bottle fell from the pocket and rolled onto the floor.
委員長、何それ。なんでもないよ。聖水持ってきちゃった。願いが成就する効力があるってナホさんのブログに載ってたやつ。持田くんとのキス。篠崎さん、行くわよ。
I think we're more likely to throw that in Satoshi's eyes, to be honest.
はい。どうしよう。これ。とりあえず。
Ayumi stuck the bottle back into the pocket of her now discarded school uniform. The girls gathered out by the connecting walkway between the two school buildings, the wind and rain violently whipping at their swimsuits. They were completely exposed to the elements here, and the elements seemingly had no mercy. Each of the girls shivered noticeably as they patted and rubbed themselves in a vain effort to stay warm. Just outside the walkway was a gloomy-looking forest that stretched back who knows how far, its dim canopy of trees looking about as uninviting as can be. Yeah. The less that's said about this, the better.
こんな場所があるのね。
Oh yeah, that's a point. In the main game, Yui never actually goes to the second wing.
あっちの校舎には行きたくないな。
The door opened and both Satsuki and Sachiko emerged from it.
みんな水着に合ってるよ。
Oh
私はも
dear.
ちろんビキニ。
I had got rid of that image. And here it is, plaguing me again. Satsuki leaned forward, thrusting her chest outward in the best approximation of a sexy pose she could muster. I mean, it's a hell of an approximation.
さつきちゃん、何その格好。
それのどこがビキニなのよ。貝殻ついてるだけじゃない。
Indeed, her swimsuit consisted of 2 white seashells for a top and 1 for a bottom. And nothing else. Christ, that's gonna be a hell of a view from behind. Ugh. The shape of her body was extremely easy to discern. Not wrong.
ちゃんと紐もついてますよ。肌色だから見えにくいけど。
Satsuki yanked on the string binding the 2 halves of her top together, seemingly to prove to herself as much as everyone else that it was holding.
そういう問題じゃ。
As
いやー、水着の女の子がたくさん盛り上がってきましたね。
if on cue, a cold wind blew across the walkway, lapping at everyone's skin.
そうかな。なんで司会実況のあなたまで着替えてるのよ。しかも一番目立つやつ。もう帰りたい。寒いし辛い。
やっぱりビキニやめればよかった。恥ずかしいよ。
では皆様、お待ちかね、王様の登場です。
This image I can't get out of my
どう
head.
ですか、サトシ君。この女子たちのアーティ姿。
From the white mist that hung in the air, Satoshi slowly came into view, and rather sheepishly, I imagine too. And his appearance was not what anyone expected. A mild commotion erupted.
サトシ、何その格好。
お兄ちゃん。
持田くん、すごい格好。
He just stood there, his face turning beet red. He was wearing a pair of trunks, a red cloak with golden tassels draped over his shoulders, and an enormous crown on his head. And upon his feet were a pair of red boots with matching golden tassels liberally dangling from the rims.
まさに裸の王様ね。
無理やり着ろって言われたんですよ。
Tch.
ハーレムだから。やっぱり男の子は王様でしょう。
どこで知ったんだそんな知識。
Satoshi's shoulders really couldn't have been more slumped. He looked utterly defeated.
ほら元気出して。水着の女の子たちだよ。
Hey, no, I'm not even going there.
さあ一人一人見ていってもらいましょう。もうみんな恥ずかしがりなんだからさつきが見本を見せてあげる。
You're the baseline?
サトシくんこの水着どうか
水着っていうか貝殻つけてるだけだから。
I love how he had the same reaction as the other girls.
なだから紐がついてるんですってちゃんと見てくださいよ。
Satsuki followed this comment by immediately thrusting her chest forward, placing it dangerously close to Satoshi.
触ってもいいですよ。
And this was the point that we stopped, because I was like, okay, this is weirding me the fuck out.
だってサトシくん王様だから。
And yeah, this was the point that everything went to shit in the last stream, and I wasn't able to continue with the stream. Kind of a blessing in disguise, to be honest with you. Now you might notice that these are both grayed out. Just because I was so fucking uncertain on whether this was something I could stream or not, given that that was an option, I did look both of these options up off stream. I will say they're much and such the same. So I'm gonna be the gentleman. You just don't. No. Put it this way, I couldn't imagine someone like Jean or Alyssa doing that to me. Well, okay, maybe Alyssa.
Thank you, but why?
Certainly not. Oh,
hey, hey,
shit! she
Straw
fucking heard me.
537 cowlights ticks.
Hi, Alyssa. What was that timing? Oh my god, let me give you a wee shout out here.
Overall, you get it. Look, Sky being a bit cheeky. God.
Was you interrupting something? Kinda? Thank you for the, thank you for the resub, by the way, for 2 months? Damn, thank you very much for that, Alyssa, I didn't know you could do 2-month resubs. I thought it was 1, 3, 6, and 12. Or maybe I'm misreading that. But, yeah, no, I was just saying, I can't, no worries, dear. I was just saying, I can't imagine you or Jean, well, thrusting your chest dangerously close to me and being like, you can touch him if you want. Although in your case, actually, you might do that. I've not long got back. Oh yes, it was your niece's birthday today. Happy birthday to her, first of all. I hope to God she's not watching this stream. Anyway, I'll tell you what, Alyssa. I'll be the gentleman, and I'll leave the awkward decision to you. Do I take the invitation of this girl and feel her chest, or do I be the polite gentleman and say nah? Sounds about right. I'm just gonna say it's bad either way. It's streamable, but it's bad either way. Heads or tails, coin flip. I don't have a coin anywhere near me. Or actually, do I? 2 seconds, I just dropped about half a dozen things looking for a coin. Well, I found a coin. I found a 20p piece. Alright. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but here we are. Heads, we get some titty action. Tails, we be a gentleman. Oh, fuck. Fuck! It went heads. I keep that coin handy, actually, in case I need it again. I will say I have reviewed both of these options already, so I know that the content of this is stream capable. But oh boy. Let's just get through this. Satoshi nervously swallowed. His stomach was purely butterflies at this point. We're really doing this. Is it okay? Like, if, well, it was nice knowing you. Well, I mean, Alyssa, if you walked up to me in front of other women as well, and you were like, hey, you can touch my boobs. I'd be torn between doing the right thing of, let's go somewhere private before we do that, and offending you if I don't. You can always try kick. Well, funny you say that as well, because there is, at the end of all this, apparently Satoshi is to give something to the winning girl that is, quote, it's a gift, quote, beginning with a C or a K sound. Gingerly, Satoshi poked one of the shells with his finger. There was a sense of the shell cupping inward slightly, then puffing back out. Jesus fucking Christ. You know, if you're gonna go in for it, might as well go in the whole fucking hog. Don't half-ass it. Oh, Jesus. Even though I reviewed this is still awkward. You done goofed, boy!
何してるのよ
She offered!
持田くん校内で不純異性行為は禁止
This isn't even your fucking school!
持田くんってそういう人だったんだ。
Satoshi came back to his senses all at once and realized that the mood around him had shifted. His friends and classmates all thirsted for his blood now.
嘘嘘悪魔のささやきが
さつきを呼んで大正解。
Satoshi, battered and bruised, managed to eke out a very thin, very faintly voiced plea.
許してください。
まあちょっかい出してきたのはあの子だけど。
Yeah. Now, I'm gonna leave this here. Reason being, I'm gonna take this quick load.
だってサトシくん、王様
And I'm gonna prove to you that this decision really does not fucking matter. Or at least as far as I'm aware, it does not matter. Nope. I'm gonna be a gentleman.
いいよ、その触るなんて。
Satsuki sidled up to Satoshi as he waved his hand to indicate that he was turning down her offer.
いいですから。
Satsuki had begun forcibly pulling Satoshi's hand towards her chest. Finally, she overpowered him, pushing his hand firmly against one of the shelves. Yeah, it ends up exactly the same fucking way.
うわ、柔らかい。これが女の子の胸。
Congratulations, Satoshi. You've crossed the line that a lot of men want to cross, but, you've done it without even fucking wanting to. For just a moment, he allowed himself to be a little enraptured by what was happening to him.
お兄ちゃん
持田くん。
Like I said, it doesn't end well for him either way. Satoshi became aware of the girls behind him, who all wore looks of unbridled rage upon their faces.
ちょっと待った。違うんだ。これはその。
I love it, no excuses. It's like, I tried to pull away from her tits! And before he could get in another word, he was being pummeled by his female companions, unable to quell their rage. They were absolutely merciless. I also have to ask, why is the teacher pummeling the student? Meanwhile, Toko looked on from a distance and let out a wistful sigh. Yeah, Toko is like, what the fuck is going on?
帰りたい。
And it all ends up at this point anyway. Now, this is as far as I got, even with my testing. So, past this point, we are entirely blind again. Satoshi, battered and bruised, managed to eke out a very thin, very faintly voiced plea.
許してください。
まあちょっかい出してきたのはあの子だけど。さつきちゃん中学生なんでしょ。色っぽいわね。
Yuka looked down at her own chest dejectedly.
同い年なのにユカとは全然スタイルが違う。
ねえ、持田くんにああいうことするのやめてくれる？
Yes, would you kindly?
あゆみんな怒らないで。サトシくんはみんなのものだよ。みんなで めでよ。
Ayumina?
あゆみーな。はいはい、それじゃあさつきのお手本を参考にどんどんアピールしていきましょう。ほらゆかち。
Satsuki pushed Yuka forward from behind, forcing her to confront her brother.
お兄ちゃん似合ってるかな。
Not in the fucking slightest.
ゆか初めてのビキニなんだけど。
And at this rate, probably your last.
ああ、いいんじゃないかってうわ
Is it bad that I can hear a helicopter in the background in real life now? The police know I'm playing this game. They're coming to get me. No, officer, it's not what you think it is. Actually, what do you think it is? Because I haven't a fucking clue what this is. Satoshi immediately averted his eyes while Yuka covered her chest with her arm. Oh Jesus, the top slipped off, didn't it?
あらあら、ちょっとサイズが大きかったみたいでビキニがずり落ちちゃったみたいですね。でもナイスアピール。
I'm gonna grab a drink, but it looks like you're having fun. Oh God. Alyssa. I get enough teasing from Jean. I don't need it from you two. I echo that sentiment from Yuka right now.
では同じくビキニのナオミさん。ほらほら照れてないで。
Naomi slowly, hesitantly walked up to Satoshi. That was an unexpected result. The two of them looked one another over more closely, and almost at the exact same time, they each just couldn't hold it in anymore.
サトシの格好面白すぎる。
なんだよ。でもまあ自分でも笑える。
Me and her can gang up on you then. But if you do that, you're starting your own harem. Also, I'm not sure how Jean would feel being volunteered for that, when she's not said anything about it yet. I think she's still here.
マジックでヒゲとか描いたらいいんじゃないの？鼻の下に J のマークのやつ。
That's a hell of an image.
完全にバカ王だな。ナオミの渡り廊下でビキニってのも結構笑えると思うんだけど。
Well, unlike Yuka, at least she somewhat fits in a bikini.
だよね。
Somewhat. Neither Satoshi nor Naomi could stop it. They both just burst out laughing from the very pits of their stomachs. And as soon as they did, all the tension present among the other girls instantly melted away.
ほんとおかしいわよね。こんな不気味な廃校で水着でハーレムとか。旗から見たら妙なサバトみたいに見えるかも。
Yeah, you be the fucking ringleader of that cult ritual, Ayumi.
言えてる。ああ、皆さんいい感じにほぐれてきましたね。それでは王様をゲットするのは誰か。ビーチフラッグ対決開始です。 スタートラインに並んでください。
Oh god, this. I forgot about this. Right, well, let's get this shit show on the road. The whole gang moved as a group over to the white line drawn on the ground at one end of the walkway and took their positions as indicated.
全員うつ伏せに寝転んで手を顎の下に置いてください。
Eh? Lie face down, but with your hand under your chin to prop your head up.
砂浜じゃないのに寝転ぶんだ。意外ときちんとやるのね。冷たい。それでは皆さん、準備はいいですか？はい、スタート！
Who had the gun? Everyone shot to their feet as soon as the starting pistol. When did she get a starting pistol fired?
さあ引き続き実況の水原さつきがお送りします。合図とともに各馬一斉に走り出しました。誰が馬よ。あの子本当に中学生？なんか競馬の実況中継みたい。
Right down to the cadence, Jesus. I'm just imagining her like the late John McCroke now. Okay.
優香選手慌ててしまったのか砂もないのに足を取られて転倒。これは痛い。
That's gotta hurt. Oh God.
各馬一列に並んでいる。誰が抜けるか。ナオミ選手頭一つ抜け出した。もうなんで私がこんなことを。でも負けたくない。もし賞金がサトシのキスだったら。
I guarantee you it's not a kiss.
他の子にキスなんて嫌。次に出てきたのはおさぎの委員長あゆみ選手。
Naomi turned to look, and sure enough, Ayumi was right alongside her now. She was laser focused on the road ahead, not even turning to look back at Naomi, nor saying a word.
なんで委員長がこんなに頑張ってるの？もしかしてサトシのことが好きなの？
Yo, not calling the kettle black.
ちゃんとみんな早い。ゆかちゃんが転んで、あのトウコって子はやる気がないし、やっぱりライバルはダッシュだわ。
Naomi put every last bit of energy she had into her feet, practically kicking the ground out of the way. As she did so, she swung her hands in an increasingly wide arc.
それにしてもこの渡り廊下なんでこんなに長いの？状況によってぐんぐん距離が伸びる天神小学校の渡り廊下を選手たちが突き進んでいます。伸びてんじゃないわよ。
Yes, but that doesn't make it any less true.
ほう、ナオミ選手スパートをかけました。また先頭です。このまま逃げ切るのか。このままじゃ負けちゃう。転倒したゆかちと最初から走ってないトウコさんが全然レースに絡んでこないですね。どうしましょう、幸子さん。ちょっとルールを変えるわ。
Let's change the rules. Here we go.
というと、サトシの身につけている王冠、マント、ブーツをそれぞれ一つずつゲットすること。
Each person who crosses the finish line will have to grab one of Satoshi's king items, his crown, his cloak, or one of his boots. Oh, Jesus.
何もゲットできなかった最後の一人は大切にしてるもの一つもらっちゃおう。
That got their attention.
そんな絶対嫌。
All at once, the three of them just bolted. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
すっごい早い。
Satsuki leaned in and whispered into Sachiko's ear.
幸子さん、今日は楽しい文化祭にするんじゃなかったんですか？うん、さっきのは冗談だよ。そうなんだ。
Sachiko kept a smile on her face as she said this, and retained it afterward as well. But it was impossible to know what she was actually thinking. Satoshi, who was standing at and serving as the goal, saw the throng of swimsuit-clad girls running at him with extreme vigor and was taken aback.
なんでみんなあんな怖い顔でこっちに向かってくるんだ。
Satoshi began backing away. You might want to run, Mick. As he did, all the scary things that had happened to him in Heavenly Host began replaying in his mind. In this place, the slightest bit of unreadiness could result in a swift demise.
捕まったら本気でヤバい気がする。いきなりハサミを突き立てられたりするかもしれない。心臓がドキドキしてきた。ここにいちゃダメだ。
Oh no. Satoshi placed one hand on the door to the annex. And as luck would have it, it wasn't locked. It opened with barely any effort. Oh no.
ごめんなさい。
And with that, he leapt inside.
どうしよう。
Oh no! Now what? Satoshi took a close look at his surroundings.
お、ここで動きがありました。なんとハーレムの主人公であるサトシ君が逃げ出したようです。さーて、どうなってしまうのでしょうか。
Satoshi quickly surveyed the two doors on either side of this old building's entrance hall.
こっちは棚が倒れている。じゃあこっちだ。
Okay. He fled through the open door, deeper into the building. Now, how well do I remember the second wing? The boys' room? No.
入って隠れるか。
The entrance to the building flung open, and the continuous sound of footfalls rang through the halls.
サトシ君に続いて女の子たちも次々と別館に飛び込んでいく。
ダメだ。絶対見つかる。逃げよう。
Okay, this is actually this is terrifying. The vertebrate get away.
松田君、どこに行くの？お兄ちゃん、待って！
To Satoshi's panic-addled mind, the affectionate calls of his female friends might as well have been the roars of monsters. Well, wait till you see what they do to you when they catch you.
グラだ。
Satoshi yelled out, then began running once more, focusing every last survival instinct he had into his leg muscles.
これはラブコメというよりホラーになってきましたね。幸子さん的にはこれどうなんでしょう。面白い。
Yeah, she's enjoying it. Sachiko was clapping. She was very clearly loving this.
オッケーのようです。
Satoshi began running up the stairs to the second floor. Naomi was right behind him, however, and she was sprinting so fast that she had to take 2 stairs at a time. Despite the bikini, she no longer felt the cold. I bet not! She felt only the desire to win. What is that image? What the fuck is that image? She called out to him from mere steps behind. Can we just get past this screen? But he wouldn't turn back to look at her. I'm trying not to look at her myself.
なんかだんだん腹が立ってきたんだけど、大体なんでサトシが逃げ回るわけ？
Once Satoshi had reached the second floor, he burst through the door. Oh, thank fuck for that. I may have my thumb there, unfortunately. At this point, Naomi had just crossed the threshold from the first floor to the second floor herself. But she caught up quickly and had him cornered right by the girls' bathroom. Oh, that's appropriate. Naomi leaped into the air towards Satoshi's back, arms outstretched, reaching for his cloak. But she missed. She had misjudged the distance between herself and her target, so her hand grabbed a rather different article of clothing. Oh no. Oh no. Oh crap! Yep, saw that one coming. Please God, don't show us that. She had put considerable power into her grab and thus encountered almost no resistance. Down they went. Alyssa, help! The scream she let out was more like a squeak, as if she needed to make noise but knew she had to stay quiet, and couldn't quite reconcile the two. The upper part of his buttocks were completely exposed, and her eyes could focus on nothing else. Only the upper parts. Then, inevitably, he lost his balance. Oh boy. As did Naomi. She fell toward him just as he fell toward her. And that's how babies are born. Or made. Not really. That's how tetanus shots are warranted. Somehow the physics of this all worked out in such a way that they were now staring into one another's eyes, lumped together in a heap on the floor. Well, at least he still got his fucking shorts on. From an outsider's perspective, this must have looked as if it had happened intentionally, and they were about to enter a lover's embrace.
サトシとこんな風に体を密着させたのって初めてかも。思ったよりずっとがっしりしてる。
Careful, Naomi, you'll end up with a damp spot.
柔らかい。
Oh, for fuck's sake. You're not grabbing tits again, are you? Actually, don't answer that.
って何を考えてるんだ俺は。
Satoshi focused his attention on Naomi's face, which, although closer than it had ever been before, had a familiar calming effect on him.
ごめん。
私こそ。
Both of them began to blush and turned their eyes to look away from one another. Oh no. Ayumi was the next girl up the stairs. She must have been running hard enough to cause shortness of breath, as her chest was rising and falling a lot quicker than it naturally should have. No comment. As she beheld Satoshi and Naomi's predicament on the floor, her neck stiffened too. For all the world, it looked as if they were cuddling. Oh boy, here comes the jealousy.
二人で今まで何をしていたんだろう。
He's not got that lucky, if that's what you mean.
いつも気づいたら二人きりになって。胸が苦しい。
And within her bosom swirled a mixture of jealousy and irritation. Called it. And neither one seemed like it would let up anytime soon. They were competing, in fact, to see which would burn her heart the quickest. She put both hands on the sides of her head, over her ears. Suddenly, very clearly in pain, Satoshi and Naomi instantly became concerned.
篠崎。
委員長、どうしたの？
Here comes the jealousy part. It's gonna be like shut the well, maybe not quite shut the fuck up, but the non-sweary equivalent, or maybe even the sweary equivalent, considering you've got people that do actually say fuck in this game. Ayumi began shaking. Then, all at once, she opened her eyes wide. Darkening? Really?
篠崎。
どうしたの？様子が変。
Yep. I've just got that meme stuck in my head now. Why are you running? Why are you running? Even the look in her face had changed. It was as if she had aged several decades in only a few seconds. Oh god, don't say that to her. Satoshi and Naomi ran down the stairs as quickly as they could.
サトシ、どうする？まだ追ってくるよ。
Oh. Head for the music room or head for the exit? Well, I can't really go for the exit because the rest of the party will run into us. That's my thinking, anyway. I'm gonna take a save here, though. So I think I'm gonna go to the music room.
音楽室がある。鍵が開いてる。中に入ろう。
わかった。
The two of them entered the music room.
どうしよう。
ピアノの下に隠れるんだ。
Under the piano. You dumbass. Just as he said this, the door to the room flew open.
どこだ。
こっちに来る。
静かに。暗いから簡単には見つからないはずだ。
As if in direct defiance of that statement, however, Ayumi suddenly crouched down and looked directly at the two of them.
いた。
That's terrifying. That's actually terrifying. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. That could be potentially my thumbnail. She grabbed Satoshi's shoulder with almost superhuman force and yanked him out from under the piano.
捕まえた。しっかりしろ、篠崎。
Satoshi pushed back against Ayumi, trying to break free from her grip.
篠崎。
He managed to put enough force into his push that Ayumi lost her balance. Unfortunately, this caused her to slam her head into the piano. Hard.
篠崎。
委員長。痛い。
Well, it fucking woke you up, didn't it? She had a big frown on her face and was rubbing her head where it impacted the piano.
篠崎、大丈夫か。すまない。
何が。
She was staring blankly at Satoshi.
記憶がないのか。その体がぶつかった拍子に篠崎を突き飛ばしてしまったんだ。それで頭を。
そうなの？よくわからないけど、町田くんが大丈夫ならいいや。ああ、コブができてる。
本当か。ごめんな。
うん。
ここは天神小学校。人の心を狂わせる場所だ。追い詰められ、別人のような一面を見せてもおかしくない。行こうか。
Satoshi, Naomi, and Ayumi all stood up and walked out of the music room together. And bumped into the other three, I'm betting.
皆さんまた戻ってきましたね。でもいいんですか？そんなにまったりしていて。1回戦の目的、分かってます？
Oh boy. The three of them were taken aback. They'd gotten so caught up in the hunt, the end goal of the beach flag competition had totally slipped their minds.
そうよ。
Acting as quickly as she could manage, Naomi pounced upon Satoshi, swiping the crown from his head in one quick movement.
王冠ゲット。
Ayumi thought the same thing, albeit a moment later. She leapt at Satoshi and tore off his cloak. As it was being stripped from his body, Satoshi spun in place dramatically.
取ったわよ。ナオミさん、あゆみさん、ゲットおめでとうございます。さて、残りの3人はどうなってるでしょうか。
After a short wait, the pitter-patter of frantically approaching feet became audible.
やっと追いついた。もう校舎一周しちゃったわよ。
Yuka and Miss Yui approached Satoshi calmly, as if trying to edge closer to a deer.
もうなんでビーチフラッグが逃げるのよ。
すいません。なんか怖くて。
もう
Miss Yui and Yuka each took one of Satoshi's boots off of his feet.
シシド先生、ゆかち、おめでとう。疲れた。もうダメ。
Oh god, poor Toko.
ということは
As if on cue, Toko finally made her way in through the building's entrance.
残念ながら、トウコさん失格です。
Toko looked only very slightly taken aback by this.
脱落者に与えられる罰とは
Toko shot a dirty look over at Sachiko, obviously putting on a brave facade. This was belied, however, by the excessive shaking of both her arms and legs.
一回休みです。
Eh?
残念ながらトウコさんは2回戦はお休みになります。アピールタイムが減ってしまいますね。これは辛い。なんだ、そんなこと。もうどんな恐ろしいことが起こるのかと思ったじゃない。
She immediately fell to her knees on the spot after hearing this, perhaps out of sheer relief.
大丈夫？
Satoshi seemed to think it was something more serious, so he rushed over to her side to check on her. She flashed him a stiff smile.
安心しただけ。天神小学校だからどんな怖い目に遭うかと思ってたけど、楽しい文化祭って本当みたいね。
ああ、そうだな。
Toko glanced over at Satoshi and saw the gentle look in his eyes. Immediately, she turned away and realized her face had gone red.
何よこいつ。どうしてそんな優しい目で見るのよ。
Wow, nice guy being nice for the sake of being nice. Wow.
やだ。何焦ってんのよ私ったら。
What was it you were described as earlier? Tsundere? Toko shunted these new feelings deep down, unwilling to even entertain them.
ダメダメ。男なんて信用したらきっと裏切られる。本性を表すに決まってる。でもあの笑顔は信じてもいいかも。
The girls, having completed the first round of this challenge, were all breathing rather raggedly. They were visibly exhausted to the point of collapse.
いやー、熱い一回戦でしたね。どうですか、幸子さん。もっと見たい。はーい、今日の主役がこうおっしゃられてます。というわけで皆さん頑張りましょう。それでは2回戦です。次の舞台はなんと
We're going to hold off on that drum roll just for a second. I am going to take a couple of minutes just to get my breath, just to get my head wrapped around this shit and to take care of a couple of things as well. We're doing an ad break anyway, so this seems like a perfect time to take a break anyway. See you in a couple of minutes. Well, I'm back, but apparently the game's not. What's happened here? Why have you done that? Oh, I hate when it does this. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, cause it's being a bitch. Cause you'll be able to hear it. There's evidence there, but it doesn't show for some reason. Right, let's just take a save. Right, I'm just saving it. I'm gonna reboot the game. That usually works. Don't know why it hasn't this time. Alright, let's reboot it. Okay, it looks like it's working this time. Weird. Oh, excuse me. Well, now the controller's not working. Come on! Okay, now it works. Right, so drum roll, please!
それでは2回戦です。次の舞台はなんとみんな大好き保健室です。
Eh? The fuck do you get up to in the office, in the nurse's office? Actually, maybe I'm better off not knowing the answer to that.
保健室？やだ。あそこはすごく嫌な感じがする。
ナオミ、大丈夫か？
うん。ちょっと気持ち悪い。保健室ですごく怖い目にあった気がするの。
Could be worse. You could be Mayu.
そうか。無理そうなら棄権して休んでおくか？
でも。
幸子、今日は楽しい文化祭なんだろ？怖いことはないよな？
うん。
ここにはみんなもいるし、何かあったとしても今度は俺が守るから。
サトシ。
That's nice.
あの子信用できないけど、でもハーレムが見たいって言ってるんだから、あんな怖いことは起こらないはず。それにサトシのキスがかかってるし。
See, you're all assuming it's kiss. No, at no point has anyone ever said it is going to be a kiss.
どうしたナオミ？顔が赤いぞ。熱でも？
大丈夫。熱なんてないから。
Yeah, she doesn't have a fever. The only cure is not cowbell.
そうか。ならいいけど。
なんだかんだ言って優しいんだよね、サトシは。それでは移動します。保健室とは癒しの部屋、 そしてこっそり二人の愛を育んだりもしちゃえる夢の場所。
You've never had hanky panky in your fucking life. Do you even know what hanky panky is? And if you do, why do you know it?
どれだけ海外しくサトシ君に尽くせるか、彼を言い寄せるかアピールしましょう。審査員はもちろん幸子さん。
Oh boy.
さて、癒しの天使となった4名が入場です。
As the door to the infirmary was opened, the first, and really only, thing that caught Satoshi's eye was the line of fabulous girls in white. In white? I mean, it's marginally better than the bikinis. But only marginally. Satoshi couldn't help but stare despite himself. The thing is, Naomi and Yui actually both look like they could be doctors. Ayumi, I don't know, maybe an apprentice of some kind? Yuka, no chance in hell.
はーい、皆さん素敵ですね。
Oh, don't tell me you're in a costume too.
まずは可愛いナース服のナオミさん。これぞ白衣の天使。白いミニスカートに黒いニーソックスがセクシーですね。
You can't even see them!
白スカと黒ニーソの間に見える白い肌。これぞ絶対領域。
Any excuse to look at her legs. What the fuck? Naomi was wearing a cosplay nurse outfit with a mini skirt that seemed to hang down to only about 20 centimeters above the knee, along with black knee socks. She was looking down at the floor, blushing furiously. She kept tugging at the hem of her skirt, trying to hide her thighs, but it was a futile effort. Christ, this is the shit Queen would write. That's saying something.
では次、アユミ
Again with that pet name.
ナ。ミニにニーソなんて邪道。正統派ナースを見よ。清楚とはこういうことだ。
As described, Ayumi was wearing an old-fashioned knee-length nurse's outfit, yet she still looked horribly embarrassed to be seen in it. I can't say I blame her.
それではシシド先生、白衣をまとった助教師。担当は英語だそうですが、保健医になっちゃいなよ。科学の先生でもいいな。
Who writes this shit?
ミニのタイトスカートがセクシー。
Okay, how would you know that? Miss Yu's wearing a blouse and a tight miniskirt, but with a white doctor's gown draped over top.
白衣ってなんだか気持ちまで引き締まるわね。
What, more so than usual?
そしてこれぞロリータ。ピンクのナース服に白いタイツでユカチが登場です。
Help.
似合ってるかな。
How do you possibly answer that question? The pink nurse's uniform somehow made Yuka look even younger. It really does.
以上、4名で2回戦を争います。 2回戦は
I'm just waiting for fucking Kizami to burst in. It's like, you should be fawning over me!
癒されちゃおうよ禁断の保健室でーす
Okay.
みんなのラブパワーでサトシくんを癒しちゃうよ
Oh boy.
今回は1人ずつアピールしてもらいます
Oh boy. Please tell me they're not about to literally play doctor.
点数は解放ポイントとラブポイントの2種類でそれぞれ10点満点です2つのポイントの合計点で競います一番得点の低かった1名が1回休みになります皆さん頑張って
Well, let's see if one of my new buttons works. In fact, let's see if 2 of them work. Okay, 1 of them works. And 2 of them works. Great. We'll see if that works from now on.
それでは1人ずつくじを引いてくださいくじには番号が振ってあります
And when she said the word ticket, she held up what she had in her hand, which was a small stack of Sachiko River After paper dolls. Because of course it was.
くじ紙人形に番号が書いてあるみたいね何番が当たるかによってアピールが変わってきますからご注意
Oh? Satsuki took out a box and stuffed the tickets into it, mixing them up a little for a good measure. Each of the girls then slowly, hesitantly reached into it and drew one of the paper dolls.
はい皆さん引きましたねでは1番の人私だけど
Oh, Naomi's number 1.
1番手ということで皆さんのお手本になってくださいね
No pressure.
この勝負ではダミー人形を使います
The dummy doll?
ダミー人形
人工呼吸などの練習に使う人形です
Okay.
ああ、あのマネキンみたいな。
That just looks like a crash test dummy. Like, I've seen my fair share of Mythbusters. I swear to God, that is just straight up Buster. What's he doing in Heavenly Host?
幸子さんがダミー人形にいろいろ仕掛けますので女の子たちは症状に合った手当てをしてくださいダミー人形をサトシくんと思って大事にね
Okay.
そして5分の制限時間内にうまく対処できないと
できないと
サトシくんがだんだんとダミー人形と同じ状態になっちゃうのでみんな頑張って
Eh? I was waiting for the inevitable Heavenly Host twist. I should have seen that one coming.
はいサトシくんはダミー人形のそばにいてくださいねナオミさんも近くに来てくださいではサチコさんお願いします
Sachiko, we beg of you, do your thing. Oh, God. Sachiko sleepily nodded her head and snapped her fingers. Sleepily? Ooh.
何これダミー人形のお腹が裂けてる
The dummy's stomach had been torn to shreds, with its bloody internal organs jutting out from the wound every which way.
はいナオミさん手当てをしてくださいほらほらアピール
Look, there's some things you just can't do sexily.
手当てって
The dummy's blood loss was out of control. Naomi had no idea how to stop it, nor even if she possibly could. The pool of blood surrounding the doll just kept growing and growing.
サトシ、お腹が。
血が滲んでる。
もう30秒経ってますよ。早く手当てしないとサトシ君のお腹がやばいですよ。わかったわよ。
Naomi did her best to gather up all the guts that had spilled out of the gaping wound. Oh. She then stuffed them back into the dummy doll, carefully but hurriedly. The thick stench of blood was unavoidable. It hung in the air all around.
ダメ、お腹が。内臓を詰めてもお腹が閉まらない。
Naomi stood up and looked over at the desk. She grabbed something off of it, then turned to face the bed. Yanking the sheets off the bed, she focused her strength and tore into them, with surprisingly little effort.
何やら考えがある様子。どんな手当てが行われるのか楽しみです。
Naomi knelt beside the dummy. The item she'd grabbed from the desk was a stapler! And she was now using it to staple shut the wound in the dummy's stomach.
針と糸がないから代用したの。医療用ホチキス、スキンステープラーで傷口を止めるのを見たことがあるから。
Somehow I don't think you're gonna find a skin stapler there.
もちろん、これは普通のホチキスだけど。
Case in point.
おお、ナオミさん物知りですね。そしてホチキスを使う決断力もすごいです。サトシ、大丈夫？
The blood stain on Satoshi's stomach was bigger now. Naomi wrapped up the dummy's lower body with the strips of sheet she'd prepared.
もう十分でしょ。サトシを直して。どうですか、サチコさん。面白かった。
She snapped her fingers.
サトシ。
Satoshi's clothes no longer had even a single speck of blood on them.
お腹は？
Damn, she made a move. Naomi hurriedly pulled up Satoshi's shirt to check. Spoiler alert! I mean, what? Satoshi's stomach was smooth as silk. There wasn't a single cut to be found anywhere.
よかった。大丈夫みたい。
Yeah, fine.
くすぐったいんだけど。
Tickles? Naomi only then realized she'd been rubbing Satoshi's tummy this whole time. Oh, that's cute. Her face immediately turned beet red and she threw her hands back.
心配したんだから。
Naomi tried to hide her embarrassment by making a face. But this wasn't particularly effective, since in the next moment she suddenly burst into tears.
必死に手当てをしていたけど、ずっと不安だった。
Alright, despite the, let's say provocative outfit, that's actually quite a nice picture.
よかった。間に合って。
Seeing Naomi's tears, Satoshi gently laid his hand upon her head.
びっくりしたんだな。 俺は平気だぞ。ありがとな。
Satoshi gently caressed her head. With tears continuing to stream down her face, Naomi thrust her head onto Satoshi's chest, desperate for his warmth and comforting touch. If the roles were reversed, Satoshi would be getting punched in the face.
楽しそうですね。今日はブレイクをどんな死に方をしてもちゃんとリセットされるから安心して。
That's reassuring.
それでは点数を見てみましょう。まずは解放ポイント。
Sachiko raised a small sign with a number on it. Oh god.
おお、8点が出ましたよ。10点満点中8点です。これは高得点。どういうところがポイントでしたか？
飛び出た内臓をうまく処理したところ。
ホチキスを思いつき、なおかつ実行したのはすごいですね。必死だったから。続きましてはラブラブポイントです。
Oh, and 8 as well. Okay.
おお、これまた高得点が出ました。8点です。サトシ君が生き返り、安心したナオミさんがポロリとこぼした涙。そんなナオミさんを優しく撫でるというほんわかシチュエーションが高得点を叩き出したのでしょうか。合計16点。これはトップ通過の予感がします。さて、それでは2番の方。私です。
Oh boy.
さあ、次はサトシ君がどんな目に遭うのでしょうか。
How can you say that so cutely?
俺またあんな恐ろしい目に遭うの？
At least 3 more times by the sounds of it.
ハーレムなんだからちょっとくらい痛いのを我慢しましょう。
A little?
ちょっと内臓が飛び出すかもしれなかったんだけど。
幸子さん、お願いします。
And with another sleepy nod and snap of her fingers, the next game had begun. This is pretty fucking jigsaw, it's a shame.
人形の顔が赤くなってる。
Miss Yui put her hand on the doll's forehead.
ひどい熱。
Oh crap.
あら、そこは額に額を当てなきゃハーレム勝負ですよ。生徒にそんなことを。
Miss Yui carefully carried the dummy over to the bed, where she'd be able to nurse it back to health more effectively.
頭が痛い。
Just as with the dummy, Satoshi's face began to get redder and redder by the second.
持田君、頑張って。このダミー人形を看病すればいいのよね。氷や保冷剤があればよかったんだけど。
Miss Yui rested her hand softly on the dummy's forehead.
大変、熱がどんどん上がってる。これは40度近いんじゃ。なんとかしないと。
40 degrees Celsius? Yeah, that's getting close to, well, brain death happens at 43, so...
持田君苦しそう。そういえば持田君にはこの前看病してもらったよね。
Yes, yes. Except he doesn't have tits to throw in your face. Satoshi smiled.
看病なんてちょっとおかゆ作っただけですよ。
それもあるけど嬉しかったんだ。 目が覚めた時、町田くんがそばにいてくれて。ほら、私一人暮らしでしょ。まあモネがいるとはいえ、やっぱり病気になった時って心細いのよね。
Wow, fuck you, Money.
だから誰かがそばにいてくれたっていうのがすごく嬉しかったの。それに町田くん優しいから。
普通ですよ。
何やらほのぼのいい雰囲気ですね。
I think it's more shaping up to be head warming.
ふん、私の時はお腹を裂いたっていうのに、今回は熱だけ？ずいぶん差があるわね。
喉が渇いた。水をください。
わかったわ。ちょっと待っててね。
Miss Yui stood up, but then was faced with a dilemma.
保健室に水がない。
飲み物あるよ。
Oh no. Sachiko cheerfully produced a plastic bottle and handed it to Miss Yui. Oh boy. Ah! I'll leave this decision up to you guys, if anyone's still here. So, do I take the plastic bottle with something to drink, or do I refuse to look for water anyway? First one I see in chat is the one I'll go with. I'll give you about 30 seconds. Also, nice, that command's working. Oh, hello, Pigeon. Welcome into the chat for the very first time. Refuse. You say refuse? Okay, let's refuse.
いらないわ。
Miss Yui studied Sachiko's eyes for a moment.
何か企んでいるように見える。せっかくの申し出だけど、この子は信用できない。
Miss Yui continued to study her surroundings. The room happened to have an old wash basin style sink in it. She didn't expect much, but she decided to try turning the tap anyway. Unfortunately, a very small stream of water began pouring out of the faucet.
よかった。
How did he find the channel, by the way, Clever Pigeon, if I may ask? She cupped a few gulps worth of water in her hands, then hurried back over to Satoshi and held it to his mouth.
持田くん、ほら、お水よ。
She attempted to tilt her hands so Satoshi would have an easier time drinking the water, but with his weak shaking, it only wound up wetting his lips. I found it by looking up the Corpse Party games on Twitch. Oh, nice, nice, nice. It's kind of an obscure series, but hey, I'm happy to play them. And the fact this is blind as well is just making me enjoy it that much more.
ダメだわ、このままじゃ。
Miss Yui began dabbing at the area around Satoshi's mouth, cleaning it as best as she could manage. All the while, Satoshi was moaning in agony.
どうしよう。口移しなら飲んでもらえるかも。
Oh boy.
でもそんなことできない。 持田くん、聞こえる？お水よ、頑張って飲んで。
At the sound of her strong urging, Satoshi weakly nodded. And Miss Yui went to get more water. With a bit more gentle maneuvering, she was finally able to get him to swallow a few gulps this time. Relaxed and slightly more hydrated than before, he displayed a peaceful expression on his face. He then closed his eyes. Here's the thing, though. Why is she giving the water to Satoshi? You might be doing it to the doll. Tiny beads of sweat were forming on Satoshi's forehead. Miss Yui took out a handkerchief and quietly, gently wiped them away.
不思議ね。こうしているとなんだか落ち着く。そう、司くんといる時みたい。
How did I know Sakasa was going to come into this eventually?
変ね。全然似てないのに。
何？
寝言か。かわいい。
Miss Yui smiled and began gently stroking Satoshi's forehead.
何よ、まるで恋人同士みたい。やだな。風邪で寝込んでいるサトシの看病、そういうのは私がやりたかった。
Well, you should have drawn the number 2 then.
それにあの先生の顔、まるで恋人を見つめる目だ。相手は生徒だっていうのに勝手にやってれば。
Naomi spun around in a bit of a tizzy, but her wide hips knocked a small bottle off the desk behind her. Ooh. The glass bottle broke, and the clear liquid therein came pouring out. Oh, don't tell me that was the holy water. The liquid flowed down an imperceptible crevice in the floor all the way to the bed. Then, all of a sudden, the suited-out space heater in the centre of the room came roaring to life, a fire sparking out of nowhere in its chamber. Oh God, where's this going? Yuka, who had been leaning against the stove, yelped and jumped backward at the sudden appearance of flames right next to her. And as a result of this movement, the heater toppled over, lighting the spilled fluid on the ground in the process. Whatever was in that bottle evidently had a rather high alcohol content. The flame quickly travelled down the path left behind by the spilled liquid, like a cartoon fuse heading toward a cannon. Once it got to the bed, it immediately licked its way up the sheets, setting the entire bed ablaze. The dummy doll lying there was utterly engulfed almost instantaneously.
まさしく二人の愛が燃え上がっています。
Do you have any idea what too hot to handle is? Why am I even asking that question?
大変。お兄ちゃん。持田くん、しっかり。
水は蛇口をひねってるけど、もう水出ないの。叩いて消すわ。
The infirmary was an absolute din of screams at this point.
燃えてる。そろそろ消した方が良さそうですね。炎が壁を登ってますし。
And just like that, Sachiko snapped her fingers. And just like that, the fire was gone.
ちょっとしたハプニングもあり、大変見応えがありましたね。それでは点数をお願いします。まずは解放ポイント。
And Sachiko raised her sign.
はあ、9点が出ましたよ。先ほどの8点を超える高得点です。まるで新婚さんみたいでよかった。
That's one way to put it.
なるほどなるほど。海外しく世話をし、初々しさもあり、さすが大人の女。見事な若妻っぷりでした。
The very model of a young wife, and yet she's the oldest of all the women.
さあ、ラブラブポイントはどうでしょうか。
Sachiko held up another sign. Okay, this, I'm guessing from that facial expression, it's going to be low.
あ、5点です。これは厳しい。
Okay.
もっとラブコメっぽいところが見たかった。確かに、あの場面でなぜ口移しをしなかったのか。恥じらいがあだになった模様。合計点数は14点。現在2位。
Okay.
さすがに生徒相手にはね。
さて、それでは3
All
番は
right,
誰ですか？
contestant number 3, please.
私よ。
Is Ayumi, okay.
おお、あゆみーなの登場です。自信のほどは？
It's over 9,000!
ないけど。
Ish.
でも、非常時にこそ冷静に全力を尽くすわ。
さすがは委員長、頼りになりそうです。
もう限界だよ。
Ah, don't worry. We're not.
何言ってるんですか、サトシくん。ちゃんと元通りになるんだからいいじゃないですか。
Hunky dory, jeez. To be fair, that's something I normally say.
死ぬほど痛いし苦しいんだけど。
喉元すぎればなんとやら。
You get over
即死
it!
をしてしまうと言われている陣痛の痛みも出産後は忘れてしまうと言います。
Right. Multiple questions. One, why are you telling a guy what labor pains feel like? Considering, as a guy, we're never going to feel them. Two, more importantly, how the fuck would you know what labor pains feel like? Actually, maybe don't answer that question. And three, no, I'm never going to say that one either.
だから、サトシくんも大丈夫。
君、トラウマとか PTSD って言葉知ってる？
That'll be a no. Satsuki just smiled and let Satoshi's comments pass right through her.
サチコさん、お願いします。
You know what she did. You know, every time she clicks her fingers, I keep thinking somebody's turning on a switch. The door to the infirmary suddenly rolled open with a clatter. Oh boy. And in walks Yoshikazu to a litany of horrified screams from the startled onlookers. Where the fuck is this going? It certainly stood to reason they'd scream too. He was, after all, a rather creepy-looking giant of a man wielding a massive blood-stained hammer.
お楽しみゲスト、吉勝さんの登場です。
Yay! Yoshikazu let out a slight groan and hobbled his way over towards where Satoshi stood. Ayumi could feel her body freezing up in fear, and her teeth were chattering. It was like this meek request had been wrung out of her. She could barely get out even a single syllable without tremendous effort. Ayumi stepped between Yoshikazu and Satoshi, determined to protect her charge at all costs. Do it. Ayumi stood no chance. Yoshikazu pushed her aside like she wasn't even there. He then approached the dummy doll and raised his hammer. Oh, ho, 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 ho. It's not the squeaky hammer again, is it? That'll be a no. With his first swing, he directly struck the dummy's legs. Hard. They didn't just break, they twisted and contorted in entirely unnatural directions. Meanwhile, my neck has just gone stiff. Ah. Give me a sec. I just needed to stretch my neck a little bit there. Yoshikazu's hammer was then brought down again. And again. And again. Mercilessly striking the dummy over and over. Yes, yes he is. Before she knew what she was doing, Ayumi leapt onto Yoshikazu and began grappling with him. Bloody hell! Once again, with little effort, Yoshikazu managed to shake her off rather violently, tossing her to the floor in the process. His duty fulfilled, the beast swiftly turned and sauntered out of the infirmary once more. In his wake, he left a dummy doll with thoroughly smashed arms and legs. Ayumi scurried over to the large cabinet against the wall. She opened the cabinet door. A ruler? You're gonna need 4 of them! Satoshi's legs had turned red and were beginning to swell. Ayumi felt the pulpy mess that used to be a set of legs on the dummy doll. Gently, after sussing out the general shape and position of one of the doll's legs, Ayumi wrapped both hands around it. She then pulled with every last ounce of strength she could muster.
ハンカチで縛る。
Ayumi carefully affixed the ruler in place.
右足はこれで大丈夫。あとは左足と両手。
Ayumi continued to rush around frantically, trying her best to address as many of Satoshi's wounds in the time allotted as humanly possible. Which, by the sounds of things, is not much time at all.
どうしたの持田君。
痛みがひどくなってきた。
痛み。
Ayumi had performed what was essentially advanced first aid, but it just then dawned on her that she'd done nothing at all to account for Satoshi's pain.
ごめんなさい。私。
篠崎、いいんだ。俺なら。
持田君、辛そう。せめて痛みを和らげてあげられたら。あっ、そうだ、ポケットに聖水がある。
Ayumi produced the tiny bottle from the pocket of her nurse's uniform, which she transferred over from her school uniform when she got changed. Convenient. Naho Senoke, whom she respected quite a lot, had been selling these through her website. It's probably just her bathwater, let's be honest.
あなたの願いが叶います。ナホさんはそう言っていた。
Ayumi opened the bottle. At this point, winning this competition and scoring a kiss from Satoshi was the farthest thing from her mind. She just wanted to spare him from his suffering. That was all that mattered.
飲んで。これ聖水なの。もしかしたら痛みが消えるかも。
篠崎のおまじないグッズか。
Just drink the fucking thing!
そうだ。自分のおまじない。そのせいでみんなはこの天神小学校に。
That's alright, I've only been telling you that for 3 games at this point. A mixture of feelings were swimming around within her now, a storm of repentance and regret. Ayumi took a deep breath.
後悔しても始まらない。今この瞬間を打開することだけ考えよう。飲んでみて。
Ayumi poured the holy water into Satoshi's mouth, slowly and carefully.
どう？
なんだか痛みが。
Ayumi's eyes lit up at the thought that she may have helped Satoshi feel better. But before he could finish his sentence, Sachiko snapped her fingers, and everything more or less reset. More or less?
幸子さん？
She's not impressed.
変なものを使ったからやめさせた。どうやら聖水の存在が気に入らなかったようです。ハユミーナ、お疲れ様でした。まさかの吉和さんの登場で盛り上がりましたね。それでは点数をお願いします。まずは解放ポイント。
This ain't gonna be a high score, is it? Sachiko held up one of her signs.
はあ、残念、6点です。普通だった。
Adequate!
まあ、折れた骨を正しい位置に戻して固定する常識的な措置ですね。さあ、ラブラブポイントはどうでしょうか。
Sachiko held up another sign.
ほう、9点です。ラブラブポイントとしてはこれまでの最高得点。
Oh, for this category, yes, yes it is.
ビッグノボーから守ろうとするところが良かった。勇気ある行動が点数につながったようです。合計点数は15点。現在2位。
Interesting. So we've got Naomi at 16, Ayumi at 15, and Yui at 14. Oh boy. No pressure, Yuka.
現在のところトップはナオミさん、そしてピンチですシシド先生。ここでシシド先生が脱落してしまうのか、はたまたそれともとうとうラストです。最後はユカチです。
Yuka nervously stepped forward. You had to be nervous too.
さあ、次はサトシくんがどんな目に遭うのでしょうか。
How can you say that so nonchalantly?
これで最後だと思って耐えるか。
Somehow I don't think that's much comfort, mate.
サチコさん、お願いします。
Lazily nodded. And reflexively, Satoshi tensed up, putting himself on guard. He knew whatever awaited him, it wouldn't be good. Wait, nothing happened. Slowly and steadily, a rope that ended in a noose lowered itself from the ceiling. Oh boy. Draping itself around the dummy doll's neck. Oh, that's not good. The noose tightened itself, then began lifting the dummy doll into the air.
さあ、ユカチ、急いで。
Of course, the short one has to deal with the fucking noose from the roof.
でないとサトシくんが苦しむよ。
首が締め付けられてきた。
どうしよう、どうしたらいいの。
Cut the damn rope! Prop him up! Do something!
下ろさなきゃ。
Yuka frantically started glancing all around the infirmary for anything she might be able to use.
椅子がある。
And with the chair, Yuka was able to support the dummy, but she couldn't quite undo the rope.
どうしよう。これ使って。
Where the fuck do you come from? Toko produced a big pair of scissors from somewhere. From somewhere. I knew it! She's been speaking to Jennifer from the Clock Tower games.
これならロープも切れそう。
Which, P.S., I did actually get, the re-release of Clock Tower Rewind. It is on my PS5. Might stream it someday, but I don't know when that'll be.
ありがとうございます。でもどうしてハサミなんか持っているんだろう。
Yeah, that's a point.
お兄ちゃん、待ってて。
Yuka climbed up on the chair, stood on her tippy toes, and stretched her arm up to the rope, which she then handily cut using Toko's scissors. The dummy doll fell to the ground in a heap.
お兄ちゃん、しっかりして。
Yuka forcefully shook the dummy doll. Shook it? Why? Satoshi's entire head looked bloodshot, and the only sound he was able to make was a throaty hiss that sounded decidedly uncomfortable. I mean, dude was effectively hanged, of course it's going to be uncomfortable.
お兄ちゃん、ちょっと待ってて。お兄ちゃん。
He didn't answer. His red eyes protruded from his skull, open but unseeing.
お兄ちゃん、息してない。
Yuka began convulsing despite herself.
そんな。確かに今までは傷を元通りにしてたけど、もし死 んじゃったら引き返してくれるの？
Yuka turned to look at Sachiko as if seeking to intuit an answer from her. And Sachiko was smiling widely back at her.
私、前に幸子ちゃんに会ってる。その時に、裏切られた気がする。自分の力で助けなくちゃ。
Yuka placed the palms of her hands on Satoshi's chest, trying to enjoy it. You know, this music doesn't quite hit the same without the bell bonging in the background. That was way too alliterative. She began pushing down with all the force she could muster.
見よう見まねだけど、心臓マッサージ。
ゆかちゃん頑張って。
She kept attempting CPR on Satoshi.
どうしよう、息を吹き返さない。人工呼吸。どうやるんだっけ？鼻をつままんだったっけ？何秒に1回とかあったよね。
Given that I've never done CPR myself, I actually don't know the answer to this.
どうしたらいいの？
Yuka began sobbing uncontrollably. In other words, you're leaving him for dead. Well, he seems to be breathing now. Just then, Satoshi started coughing violently. Somehow or another, he'd come back. Yuka immediately threw her arms around her newly resuscitated brother.
よかったサトシ。よかった。
The onlookers all breathed a sigh of relief as well. I dare say a lot easier than Satoshi would be.
麗しい兄弟愛ですね、幸子さん。面白かった。
Funny, yeah. Sachiko snapped her fingers.
助け合いあり、ドッキリあり、見どころ満載でしたね。それでは点数をお願いします。まずは解放ポイント。
You know what she did.
ほーっときたー！ 9点です。
A 9, wow.
いろいろ工夫して助けようとしたところが良かった。協力プレイも織り込みつつハラハラさせられましたもんね。さあ、ラブラブポイントはどうでしょうか？
The same sign, oh boy.
おお、これまた9点です。
So
ということ
Yuka
は
won.
合計18点。ゆかちがトップ通過です。ありがとうございます。
And last place is Yubi in this one?
そして残念ながら最下位はシシド先生。次回はお休みです。悔しい。
I could smell the sarcasm from here.
そしてトウコさんが復活。さあ皆さん、次の場所に移動です。
Okay, so Yumi's out, Toko's back in.
では理科室にて3回戦です。最終アピールタイム。
The science lab, oh boy.
皆さん、張り切っていきましょう。ご主人様に尽くします。メイド対決。
The maid showdown.
メイド？
It doesn't involve cat ears, does it?
お掃除とかするの？メイド喫茶行ってみたい。
A maid cafe? Huh?
ああ、そっちのメイド。
Someone might want to fill me in on this one.
幸子さんがリアルでメイドを見たいとご所望です。なんだか嫌な予感がするんだけど。
Because all the other rounds have gone so swimmingly up to this point.
もうどうにでもしてください。
I'm actually beginning to feel bad for him. After having been chased all over creation and brought to the brink of death numerous times over, Satoshi was quite thoroughly exhausted. Yeah, he's very much checked out at this point.
あらあら、ご主人様がお疲れのようですよ。
Just a touch!
4人のメイドがご主人様にご奉仕。
Oh boy. The less I say about that, the better.
それでは皆さんにお着替えしてもらいますね。いくよ。
And with a snap of her fingers and a wave of my dick. No, I'm joking. The four challengers suddenly found their bodies wrapped in a glowing white light.
かわいいメイドさんの登場です。
おお。
What was that sound? Oh, fucking hell. So, suddenly the four girls were all standing before Satoshi, wearing four very different types of maid outfit. Oh god.
まずはナオミさん、いわゆるスタンダードメイドですね。濃紺のワンピースに白いエプロンドレス。
I have to admit, I quite like that outfit. I mean, you could maybe argue that's the traditional maid outfit when you think of a maid, or very close to it. I quite like it. And it seems to suit her, honestly.
続いてアユミーナ。由緒正しきビクトリアンメイド。濃紺のロングドレスが清楚です。キャルティエカチューシャも素敵。
Again, that's another one that kind of suits her quite well. Alright, we can't see the long dress part of it, but yeah, that could work.
そしてトウコさん。
Oh dear.
パンツが見えそうなマイクロミニ。とどめは猫耳。
I was joking when I was talking about cat ears. Why has Toko got the short end of the stick again? I mean, it's cute, but probably the weakest of the three so far.
水色と白のアリスカラーがお似合いのユカチ。絵本から飛び出てきたみたいですね。
Alice, kindly find yonder rabbit hole and jump straight back into it head first. Arguably the weakest of the four. In fact, come to think of it, if we go in order from best to worst, in my personal opinion, I think it's the order that was shown. Sachiko clapped her hands. She seemed to be really enjoying this.
口を開けたままのサトシくん、いかがでしょうか。
可愛いと思います。
ご主人様は大喜び。つかみは OK ですよ、皆さん。では机の上にあるものを使ってご奉仕しちゃってください。
It's Satsuki's urging Naomi, Ayumi, Yuka, and Toko each reluctantly examine the items on the desks in the science lab. I'm just going to take a screenshot of this, because this is actually, that's actually quite a cute image. And of course, that's the one button I didn't bloody set up on the last break. Alright, let's see how bad this gets. They consisted of a serving tray with a silver lid, a teapot, an earpick, and a nice suit. Okay, what's the catch?
これはどうしよう。
Flashing a sidelong glance at the other three as they stood in place, Ayumi darted forward and grabbed one of the items. I'm betting it's the suit.
まず動いたのはアユミーナだ。手にしたのはスーツ。
Wow, I was right. She just wants to see him in his undies again. Ayumi took a look at the suit she'd nabbed.
スーツを選んだのはいいが、どうすればいいのか困っているようです。もちろんお着替えを手伝うんですよ。
着替え
Yes, change.
そうですよ。まず服を脱がせて。
脱ぐのか。
Yes? Satoshi looked flustered, but he didn't see that he had much choice. He began undoing his buttons.
ダメー、違います。アユミーナがやるんですよ。
Service his every need. Every need. Ayumi's face turned beet red.
そんなことできないよ。
Oh, you absolutely can. It's just a question of whether you want to. Actually, we all know you want to. Just not in front of everybody else.
スーツを選んだのはあなたですよ。ほら。
Ayumi hesitated, but after a few moments, she very slowly and gingerly reached her hand towards Satoshi.
持田くん。
Although, given how close they are right now and where her left hand currently sits, did you have to start at his pants?
ご主人様でしょ。ご主人様。
Her face was as red as humanly possible now.
服をお召し替えください。
Ayumi slowly began to unbutton Satoshi's shirt. Her hands were shaking, but she pushed onwards, undoing one after another.
篠崎、やっぱり俺自分でやるから。
And so he did. Without waiting for confirmation, Satoshi just yanked off the shirt from his school uniform in silence. Although he was wearing a blue t-shirt underneath, Ayumi still averted her eyes as soon as she realized the shirt was indeed coming off. Oh, don't be shy.
ダメですよ。メイドさんにやってもらわないと。
いや、本当にいいって。
And before giving anyone a chance to object, he grabbed the dress shirt from the suit and hurriedly put it on.
じゃあメイドさん、ネクタイを締めてあげて。
You do know how to tie a necktie, right? Ayumi held the navy blue necktie in her hands. She draped it around Satoshi's neck very gingerly. But that's where her movement stopped.
ネクタイってどう結ぶんだっけ。
That'll be a no.
ず両端をクロスさせて。
To be fair, I have enough trouble putting on my own ties. I would struggle even harder putting one on somebody else. I tell you, heavy respect to my mother having to do that when I was a school kid.
輪っかを作って通すんだよね。あれ？
Ayumi tried her best to tie Satoshi's tie, but just wound up creating a square knot.
どうしよう。
Ayumi lifted her head up from what she was doing, still confused as to how to tie this thing, only to realize just how close she was to Satoshi's face. She quickly took a step back. She'd been so close, she could actually feel his breath.
こんな近くで持田くんの顔見たことない。
篠崎、あとは俺がやるから。
Satoshi and Ayumi's hands touched. Ayumi, flustered, quickly withdrew hers.
ごめん。
あらあら、初々しいですね。もうそろそろいいでしょ。
Somebody's getting a little jelly.
ほら、サトシじゃない。ご主人様。
Okay, Naomi had chosen the teapot. Okay. Oh god, did you not think to check what was in it?
お茶をお入れいたします。
ああ。
She set down a beaker in front of him. A beaker? I suppose you work with what you got.
これしかなかったの。ティーポットはあるのに。もう。
Naomi poured a beaker full of steaming hot black tea from the teapot. At least, let's hope it's tea.
はい、召し上がれ。
ありがとう。
Satoshi slowly, nervously raised the beaker to his lips.
ごめん、熱すぎた。
Satoshi set down the beaker.
ほらほら、メイドさん。ふうふうですよ。ふうふう。夫婦って何？
Blow the damn thing! Even I figured that out.
息をかけて冷ましてあげるんですよ。アピール。
Naomi's face did what all the faces had been doing for a while now and turned red. Oh god.
そんなことなんでやらなきゃいけないのよ。あなたがメイドだからです。
Satsuki's blunt answer caused Naomi to shrink back a little.
わかったわよ。
Ah, come on, you'll get close to him. Naomi picked up the beaker.
はい、サトシ。じゃなくて、ご主人様。
ありがとう。
Naomi was slightly taken aback by Satoshi's smile.
特別だよ、こんなの。
We'll see about that. Naomi suddenly started spouting off some rather flippant lines. Without knowing it, she turns in there! Satoshi downed the entire beaker of tea.
おいしい。 ほっとするよ。
それはようございました。
Satoshi found himself unable to contain himself. At the sound of Naomi speaking in such strained formalities, he let a small sputtery laugh slip. Naomi instantly followed suit. Yeah, they've got a chemistry. Even if he doesn't fucking recognize it.
やっぱりサトシといると楽しい。
なんかいい匂いがするな。
What were the other two items?
お兄ちゃんじゃなくてご主人様。
Okay, Yuka, wearing her Alice-colored maid outfit, was standing next to Satoshi.
ご飯です。
Yuka had chosen the silver platter. Ah, okay. And under the lid was a steamy, delightful-looking rice omelette.
オムライス？
メイド喫茶の人気メニューですね。
そうなの？
I'll have to take your word for that.
はいゆかち、ケチャップでアピールして。
Yuka took out some ketchup. As you do. Quickly, pound it hard until the red stuff got... No, not that hard. Yuka had drawn something on the egg using ketchup.
できたよ、お兄ちゃん。
ずいぶんでっかいハートマークだな。
Satoshi was smiling despite himself. The heart on the omelette was so big, it even spilled out onto the plate.
ありがとう。いただくよ。
ダメ。
Hmm?
ゆかがやる
Damn, she's really trying. Yuka scooped up a small portion of the rice omelette with a spoon. She then held that spoon up to Satoshi's mouth.
の。
いや、それはさすがに恥ずかしいかな。
ふうもしてあげるよ。
Okay, that sounds less like you're blowing a piece of food to cool it down, and more like you're straining to take a shit. There, I
さすがお
said
兄
it.
ちゃん大好きっ子ですね。すっかりこの状況を楽しんでいます。ポイント高い。はい、ご主人様。
Satoshi forced a bitter smile, feeling he had to in response to just how hard Yuka was trying here.
わかったよ。
What was that movement? Resigning himself to his fate, Satoshi opened his mouth, then shut it down on the entire scoop.
うまい。
Yuka was so happy she started clapping.
じゃあ、もう一口。ちょっと待って。
Yuka lowered the spoon and raised her other hand.
もう、ケチャップついてるよ。
With her finger, she wiped the ketchup from Satoshi's mouth. She then placed that finger in her own mouth with a distinct nom. Too far, girl. Too far.
おいしいね。
何この兄弟。
Even Toko recognizes it.
あらあら他人事じゃないですよトコさん。 さあどうぞトーコメイドの番ですよ。エロくしてください。
That's a sentence. Toko crumpled her face with disdain. Yeah, to be fair, I think I would at that sentence as well. Last to the party once more, she'd begrudgingly taken the ear pick. Oh, God. Oh.
なんで耳かきしか残ってないのよ。
Because you were too fucking slow.
だいたいなんで耳かき？
Because this is Heavenly Host. Haven't you been paying attention?
秋葉原や池袋では有名なメイドアイテムなんですが、知りませんか？
I can honestly say no, I didn't.
知らないわよ。とにかく耳かきすればいいんでしょ。
I suddenly feel terrified for Satoshi's ears. I guarantee she's going to do it violently or something. Toko flashed Satoshi a frighteningly intense look.
ほら、こっち来て。
Come here, you! Come here, you!
ご主人様になんて口の利き方だ。うるさいなもう。
Satoshi very hesitantly and begrudgingly sat down in a chair next to Toko. Hell, my ears are starting to hurt at the thought of this.
これでいいかな。
じゃあ、行くわよ。
Toko raised the pick to Satoshi's ear and was just about to jam it in when Satsuki called out to her.
やり方が間違っている。は？ひざまくらでしょ。
Oh boy. Just when you think this can't get weirder.
なんで膝枕なんてしなきゃいけないのよ。メイドだから。
That's your justification for everything.
ほらほらやるの。わかったわよ。
Although obviously not comfortable with this, Toko slowly sat on the floor with her knees out.
はい、どうぞ。
I don't think he's entirely comfortable with it either.
ほら早く。
Toko slapped her thigh as if to say, right here, but the act came across a bit more violently due to her obvious irritation. Yeah, this is like, oh, what's the word? This is like fucking fandom style bullshit. Like, you get your ass over here now. You've been a naughty bot. Oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with me? I hope to god Alyssa didn't hear that. I guarantee you she did.
早くって言われても、これって生足に頬が密着することになるわけだよな。
Are you complaining? Toko seemed to realize the same thing after a few moments.
ハンカチ敷くから大丈夫よ。
はい。
What the fuck is that image? I've got a lot of thumbnail material for this one. What the fuck? I mean, at least you're facing out. Although, gonna have to do the other ear at some point, so, Satoshi obediently, almost automatically, placed his head on Toko's lap.
たかい。
You're having a good day, Satoshi. You're getting, you've had tits in your face, tits in your hands, and now you've got crotch in your face. You lucky fucker.
行くわよ。
Satoshi instantly shuddered at the sensation of a foreign body being inserted into his ear.
動かないで。
はい。
強気なメイドも悪くないですね。終了です。
Time's up. Satsuki rang a bell to indicate the maid competition was over.
皆さんお疲れ様でした。しばし休憩の後、最終発表に入ります。サトシ君は誰を選ぶか考えておいてくださいね。
And as soon as Satsuki and Sachiko exited the room, everyone almost immediately plopped into a chair.
あー、疲れた。ようやく終わるのね。
By chance, she happened to glance over at Ayumi.
前から気になってたんだけど、委員長ってもしかしてサトシのこと？ユイ先生も怪しいのよね。風の看病って何があったんだろう。
What didn't happen?
ゆかちゃんもお兄ちゃん子だと思ってたけど、なんだかそれ以上のものを感じるし。あのトーコってことはどこで知り合ったんだろう。
Game logic. Don't worry about it too much. Lazily, her weary gaze drifted over to Satoshi. She stared at him for a while, as if trying to unravel his mysteries. God damn it, why can't I catch anything? The only thing I've caught right now is a cold. Oh, I'm sorry.
はーい、皆様。会場の準備が整ったので移動します。
The assembly hall, oh boy. Everyone who'd previously been warped to Classroom 1A gathered in the assembly hall.
皆さん、お疲れ様です。
Satoshi and the others had all changed back into their regular school uniforms and all plopped down into chairs with a collective sigh of relief.
いよいよ優勝者の発表ですが、その前にお待ちかねの商品の発表です。
Yes, what is the fucking prize?
サトシ君から贈られるのは
The thing you'll be receiving from Satoshi that has a C with a K sound.
なんとサトシ君のキスです。
Okay, it is actually a kiss, okay. Are you telling me he was fucking oblivious to it?
やっぱりキスなんだ。キスか。なんだ、キャットタワーじゃないんだ。
Oh, for God's sake, you're hopeless. Each envisioning a different result in her head, the girls all waited patiently for the one true winner to be announced.
ではハーレムキングことサトシ君に優勝者を一人選んでもらいます。記念すべき第1回天神小学校ハーレムスクールデイズラブラブ大作戦の優勝者は
Why do I not like where this is going? I'm taking a save here. I'm calling a hunch. Satoshi opened his mouth, knowing that whatever came out of it next could have dire consequences. Defer to Satsuki, pick Sachiko, don't pick anyone, or can't pick just one. Huh? Well, the option that I wanted to see is not there. I won't reveal what the option I wanted there, but I mean, the whole point of a harem is you have all of them. So, sorry, I can't pick just one.
一人なんて選べない。みんなすごく頑張ってくれたから、みんなが優勝者だよ。
Oh, that's nice.
優勝者を決めてもらわないと困るんですけど。
これハーレムものじゃないの？
That's what I said.
女の子みんなに愛されるのがハーレムだろ。だったら一人を選ばなくてもいいんじゃないか？
幸子さん、どうなんですかね？別にいいよ。
No skin off my back. You don't have any skin left. You don't have a back either.
じゃあみんなにキスして。
Fine by me.
みんなが優勝だから、みんなに商品を渡して。
Satoshi stood up intending to run, but he was promptly glomped by his little sister. Glomped. I love that image.
お兄ちゃん、ゆか、頑張ったよ。
Yuka was looking up at Satoshi, eyes glistening with tears.
ご褒美欲しいな。ゆかちゃんだけずるい。別にキスしてほしいってわけじゃないから。
Liar!
でもやっぱり公平を期すためには全員にキスだと思う。
Wow, even Toko's smiling. What the fuck?
そうね。ほっぺたとか額ならいいんじゃないかしら。
Okay, that just sounds like the prelude to something that doesn't belong on Twitch. We'll just put it that way.
早く帰れるんだったら何でもいい。
All the girls begin sidling up to Satoshi.
楽しそう。私も混ざる。
You weren't even participating. The girls all jumped onto Satoshi at once.
ラブコメラブコメ。ハーレムハーレム。
Sachiko had set up a camera. Oh no. Oh no. That's not the worst picture in the world, all things considered. And that shot was to become her most treasured memory of this glorious day. That honestly could have been a lot worse. Though why is Satsuki grabbing her leg? Oh wow, okay, so apparently that was the right end. So that was the true ending cleared, I guess. The King and We being the next level. You know, I could... What time is it? Hail to the King, baby! For completing Chapter 4. You know what? How many wrong endings are there on this one? I want to say there's 3. I suspect that everything that we did in that level doesn't make a blind bit of fucking difference. And the only decision that kind of points towards a right or wrong end is the final decision. So I tell you what, rather than doing this as a completely new recording after the fact, let me reload this save and we'll go through a couple of options. Also, give me a second.
第1回天神小学校ハーレムスクールデイズラブラブ大作戦の優勝者は
Give me a second, my alarm's going off. Right. I'm scared. I'm scared at how bad these options are going to be, but we've got the true ending already for being unable to pick just one. This'll be interesting. You know what? Satsuki, you're the moderator. You're the judge. You decide.
さつきちゃんに任せるよ。いや、だって選べないよ。
じゃあ私が選んじゃっていいんですね。よし
This did not sit well with the girls, who started to murmur restlessly. I didn't think it would.
あの子が選ぶのさつきちゃん、私を選んでくれないかな
I guarantee you she won't.
誰にしよっかな
She's gonna pick herself. That's my guess. Satsuki was looking over the choices and seemed to be having a grand old time. She noted the tense expressions on each and every one of their faces.
決めた発表します優勝者は
It's her. I'm betting it's her.
水原さつきです
Yeah, called it. I mean, it makes sense for the winner to be the only girl who had her tits filled up.
いやー審査を振り返ってみて一番輝いていた女の子ってどう考えても私なんですよねそういうわけで商品いただきます
Upon saying this, Satsuki planted a big smooch on Satoshi's cheek. Oh boy. Okay, there is a lot of thumbnail-worthy images here.
ああサトシ君からキスしてもらうんだった
Satsuki smacked herself in the head while sticking out her tongue to indicate a silly me sort of sentiment.
間違えちゃったてへちょっと何なのよ
I agree, Naomi. I agree.
今まで必死でやってきたことが無駄だったってことさつきちゃんひどいよあごめんねゆかちゆかちの大好きなお兄ちゃんにキスしちゃったあー楽しかった 幸子さんありがとう。手伝ってくれてありがとう。面白かったよ。じゃあ私そろそろ帰ろうかな。見たいテレビがあるんだ。
Satsuki waved her hand excitedly as she left the room. And Sachiko just kept smiling.
じゃあみんなはもっと文化祭を楽しんでね。
That was the Satsuki end. Oh god, okay. Alright, 2 down, 2 to go. Okay.
記念すべき第1回天神小学校ハーレムスクールデイズラブラブ大作戦の優勝者は
Alright. Just because I want to see how much she freaks out at this. Huh? I wasn't even fucking participating. What the fuck? Sachiko!
俺は幸子を選ぶよ。
え？幸子？なんで？お兄ちゃん？
みんな本当に頑張ってくれてありがとう。でもだからこそ一人なんて選べない。なら俺は今日が誕生日の幸子を選ぶ。この催し物自体あの子を喜ばせるものだしな。
そう言われるとね。
では優勝者は幸子さんに決定。では早速賞品のキスをお願いします。
Sachiko excitedly ran over to Satoshi. Oh boy. And when she reached him, she leapt up and threw her arms around him.
ありがとう。幸子の誕生日をお祝いしてくれて。
ああ、幸子、誕生日おめでとう。
みんなの前でキスされるのって恥ずかしいからどこでもいいかな。
Can we do it out in the hall? Oh god. Sachiko was fidgeting, very clearly feeling a bit shy.
しょうがないな。じゃあ行こうか。
どうなのこれ。
It means I done goofed.
ありといえばあり。相手子供だしキスにはカウントされないや。
I love how they're trying to justify it.
ドン引き。
Oh, Toko. Time passed, and then... Wait, we're not done? The fuck? Ooh!
今の悲鳴って持田くん。お兄ちゃん。何があったの？
Sachiko returned to the classroom.
プレゼントもらっちゃった。キスじゃなくて肝にしてもらった。
Ow!
キーのつくプレゼントだからいいよね。
Sachiko, grinning wildly, proudly showed the assembled girls the lump of red dripping flesh she held in her hand. Ow! Wow! It looked as if it had just been removed mere moments earlier, still steaming with the heat from inside Satoshi's body. That's an
ハーレ
image.
ム楽しかったね。
Well, that took a turn. Never trust Sachiko is what I'm learning. Ah. All right, let's get the final end.
記念すべき第1回天神小学校ハーレムスクールデイズラブラブ大作戦の優勝者は
You know what? I want to keep my kidneys to myself. I want to keep everything to myself. So, fuck the Warriors.
俺を選ぶ。
How do you kiss yourself?
はあ
ずっと考えていたんだ。この戦いの中、
Hullabaloo, what a word.
俺は誰のことが一番好きなのか、誰のことが一番大切なのか、そしてようやく答えにたどり着いた。
Maybe he'll take his own kidney. I have a sneaking suspicion he'll take both of them and run a fucking mile with them. Along with everything else that begins with a C or a K sound.
俺が好きだ
Satoshi's proud proclamation rang out confidently.
サトシ町田くん大丈夫お兄ち
He's turned into the fucking Count from Sesame Street. Two kidneys. Ha 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 ha. A strange glimmer began forming in Satoshi's eyes.
いけないあまりのストレスとプレッシャーに生死に異常をきたしているわ無理もないわ校舎中を追いかけ回されその後何度も想像を絶する苦痛と恐怖を繰り返したんだから
俺はこの世界の王だ
Okay, Leo.
なんかすごいテンション上がってきてるよ
いや銀河帝国の皇帝だ
I'm the Emperor of the Milky Way Empire. Anyone else fancy chocolate at this point?
これが後に銀河系第三宇宙帝国を統一する男持田聡の覚醒の瞬間だった
ああ自分で覚醒の瞬間だったとか言ってるよ
I didn't even realize that was the same voice.
お兄ちゃんが壊れた
No kidding.
持田くんがそんな
Well, that was, Okay, all four of those endings were weird. Alright, so that's the Satoshi end. And I've unlocked all the endings, so new entries for Kizami, Kurosaki, Fukuroi, Kariyama, or Ryosuke, Tomohiro, and Kaishimara. So basically the Byakuten males. And new entry unlocked in the Notes and Journals menu, Victim Memoir B. Okay. The victim memoirs I won't need to read because they're they're covered anyway. Miskissed. Attained all endings of chapter 4. Okay. I think it comes out a bonus, doesn't it? Yes, okay, so who the heck did I unlock? I think I had up to and including Taguchi before, so yeah, so it's just the men of the group. So like I've been doing in the videos, I'll read these out as well, just so I don't have to make a new video. Because laziness is for winners? We'll start with the bad bastard himself, Yuya Kazami. Has never been able to feel sympathy or compassion for other human beings, and has never had any appreciation of any kind for the sanctity of life, leading to a general sense of alienation from his peers. In Heavenly Host, he's more or less defined by his brutal murderer, schoolmate, and supposed best friend, Kurosaki. Likes mirrors and silver things, he's a fucking magpie. Dislikes family and animals, but likes people watching. Just back away slowly. Kensuke Kurosaki. Born on April Fool's, ouch. A member of the baseball club who always acts before he's fully thought things through. Because of his generally bright and positive outlook on the world, he's known as a mood maker among his peers. Or he was, before his supposed best friend Kizami stabbed him to death in Heavenly Host Elementary. Likes small animals, dislikes spare time, but has his hobbies of baseball, karaoke, and labouring. Labouring as a hobby? Fuck, Kizami did you a favour. We've got Masato Fukuroi. We go from April Fools to Christmas Day. Oh, great. Byakuren Student Council President and all-around prodigy with an almost overbearingly serious personality. Was once saved from bullying by Kurosaki and has been close with him ever since. Also very close with Katayama and Okawa, and has begun to show a heretofore unseen chivalrous side through him, through his repeated attempts to save Mitsuki from harm in Heavenly Host. Just, don't show him a dating simulator, because he will always pick the one with the big boobs. It's canon, look up the extras in the first game. Likes formulae, chemical symbols, and libraries. Kiss ass. Dislikes people who don't reflect on their actions. Asshole. But he has hobbies of crossword, puzzles, and reading. Okay, that I can get behind at least. And we've got Ryosuke Katayama. March 28th. Psh. That's actually my sister's birthday. No joke. A die-hard fan of games and anime, same as his best bud Okawa, also good friends with Fukuroi and Kurosaki, and has an almost sibling-like relationship with Mitsuki. After being transported to Heavenly Host, he quickly stumbled into a trap and lost his leg. Despite the best efforts of his friends, he ultimately succumbed to his injury and died from blood loss. Likes games, particularly dating sims. Dislikes cold winters and hot summers. Okay, I'm beginning to like Katayama. I hate cold winters and hot summers myself. And hobbies of anime critique and rare goods. To this kid, tits are rare goods. And speaking of Okawa, Tomohiro Okawa. Meek and physically unintimidating, often getting bullied by boys and girls alike. Treats the student council room as his playground since he has nowhere else to go. Upon witnessing Katayama's ultimately terminal injury in Heavenly Host, he became uncharacteristically inconsolable, barely even able to function. So basically he didn't change a fucking inch. Likes cute things and games, especially dating sims. Dislikes overbearing people and raw fish. You're Japanese! How do you dislike raw fish? And hobbies, watching good manga and anime. Yeah, we all know he's into his Yuri. And Kai Shimada. Models for a men's fashion magazine, so has a fair number of fans. Brash, boorish, and a total womanizer, and rumour states that he has countless girlfriends and backup girlfriends at his disposal. Even in the most dire of circumstances, when better men might admit the error of their ways, his pompous barbarism remains ever unwavering. Likes women in silver things, dislikes stupid people and natto? I'm not sure what natto is. And hobbies, appreciating good Western music. Oh, and that's looping around. Okay. So, with that, my voice is beginning to give out from talking for so fucking long. But I think that is where we're going to call it. Next time when we come back to the Hysteric Birthday Bash, we'll be making a start on The King and We. What does it involve? I haven't got the faintest fucking clue. We'll find out together. Until then, let's see if we can find somebody to raid. So give me just a second while I find that somebody. Let's see. Oops. Let's have a look. Who have we got? Alright, I tell you what, I think I know where I'm gonna give this one. I've been trying to give her a raid for a while, but, oh, that ran out, shit. Alright, so I think we are going to give this one to Saren today. Good person, just a good person overall, to be honest. Doing a co-op stream with Mossy as well, so it's kind of a double raid in that sense. So stop by, say hi to both of them, be amazing. I need to renew my sub with them at some point. I'm wondering if my Twitch Prime's refreshed yet. It may have done. But yeah, I'll get you on over to them just now. And yeah, remember folks, if you're ever put into a room and forced to choose between members of the opposite sex for a very special gift, never pick the one in the red dress. And if you've got something that begins with a K sound, fucking cover it. Take care, folks.